For the setup of the facial, I'm going to use 2 sponges, a fan brush for the application for the mask, cut in half cotton pads and cotton buds, a glass bowl. The Lash Me solution is water-based eye makeup remover. I have cleanser, facial oil and balancing toner by Pure Fiji. I also have some exfoliator, it's a cream-based exfoliator. I have a choice of masks and day cream by Pure Fiji. I'm a big fan of spritz toners, so I have the multi-active toner by Dermalogica. I have an Aveda infusing oil. Then I have 3 different essential oils in the front. I've chosen these before I start the facial. I chose a citrus, a wood-based kind of one, or a spice-based, and then a floral. If you're into aromatherapy and you know your base, top and middle notes, go ahead and choose those. Finally, I have a serum and an eye cream, and also a rice cooker. This is just a standard mini rice cooker, and I use this to put my hot towels in. It works very well. So this is the range of products I'm using overall. I hope you enjoy the 30-minute facial tutorial featuring masks. The headbands that I use for facials are a bra/headband. They're from a beauty supplier called Beauty Care here in New Zealand. They're a great substitute for the Velcro headband. They're elasticated and they fit over the head and hold onto the head very well, so they don't move so much. But I also prefer the colour black because some facial products can sometimes stain the white headbands and they don't look so nice being used again. This client has lash extensions on, so for the purpose of this tutorial I'm going to go through the movements of removing eye makeup and mascara, but I'm going to be really gentle because I don't want to damage the existing extensions on the client. The eye removal product Lash Me, which I'm using, it's actually water based, so if the client was wearing a waterproof mascara, then I would switch over to an oil-based remover just because I'd like to break down the mascara more effectively. So water-based is fine for water-based mascara, oil-based to really break down that hard to remove mascara if they're wearing really stubborn mascara. So I use pre-cut half cotton pads for economic reasons, and they fit nicely over the eye socket area, so it's really perfect for that eye shape. I use a cotton bud with one end soaked in eye makeup remover, and I swipe through the upper lashes. Then I ask the client to look up and remove any of that panda eyes makeup or mascara that's been left along the bottom. So now I've got some cleanser on my hands, and I apply the cleanser in prayer style movements. So it's basically across the chin, across the cheeks, the nose and on the forehead. I'd also apply to the décolleté and the neck if I was doing a massage in this facial. In this facial we're just going to do a mask instead of a massage. We can cover off a massage in another video down the track. When I clean the skin and I get to the nostril area, I only clean one nostril at the same time, because if I'm getting right into the crease of the nostril where there's, can often be a lot of congestion, then the client's not going to be able to breathe. She can open her mouth, but really just out of consideration, I will actually just clean one nostril at one time. Moving up in between the brows, I use a firmer stroke that feels nice to the client. Then right around the eyes, around the orbital bone, I cleanse as well. When I'm finishing my cleanse, I tend to sweep back down in a prayer movement down to the chin, then come back to the masseter muscle, just that chewing muscle that you feel, and add a little bit of pressure, and then I let go. It's just a signature thing that I do. I don't know where I picked it up, but I just find it's nice to have something that I do that's a constant throughout my massage that establishes that feeling and that flow is finishing for the client. So I always do a double cleanse. I was taught originally with Dermalogica, so generally the double cleanse would be the pre-cleanse, then adding water to the pre-cleanse so it emulsifies, then sponging off, and then going in with the second cleanser like special cleansing gel. In this case I'm using Pure Fiji, so I'm just going to double cleanse twice with the cleanser, the same one, there's nothing different. I'd probably say that I'm doing this not too slow because I really want the client to not mix up the difference between a massage and a cleanse. It's also, I don't want this client to get to the massage and be like, oh, that's just the same. I really want my massage to stand out. So these are nice, fast, quick kind of movements without it being rough. When it comes to toning, I'm a big fan of spritz toning. I shield the client's eyes with one hand and spritz from shoulder to shoulder. Then I blot with a tissue and then I spritz again, and then I lightly compress the skin with my hands. Moving on to exfoliation. This is a gentle type of exfoliator, so it's not too rough. So after patting the exfoliator cream onto the skin and spreading it evenly, I switch to my thumbs around the chin and jawline area. I get right into the crease of the skin, and then I switch to the pads of my fingers when I exfoliate the larger areas like the forehead and the cheeks. I do use my thumbs along the jawline as well because I think that feels really nice along those muscles. I avoid any sensitive or thinner skin around the eyes, so I concentrate really on getting into the congested skin in the nostrils and the chin along the jawline. Once I get up to the forehead, the exfoliator cream, it starts to feel a bit grittier because it's been drying, so I add a little bit of water to help with creating a better consistency for me to rub it around. Once I've completed enough exfoliation, I add a bit more water to the palms of my hands and I dilute the exfoliator cream to help with cleansing it off with the sponges. Because if it's really gritty, it can leave a lot of grit on the face. So I'm trying to kind of break it down and dissolve it down with a bit more water here, but not so much that it's dripping down the client's face because that just doesn't feel pleasant. While I'm sponging off the exfoliator off the client's skin, I ask them if they're feeling alright. So I'm checking in at this point to see if they're feeling any sensation on their skin. After sponging away the exfoliator, that's when I use my hands to check if there's any granules or grains on the skin. This is especially important if you're doing a massage, because during the massage you're going to feel those grains, and so is the client if they're not all removed. Not everyone will use a spritz style toner. So I've applied a liquid toner to the cotton pads and I'm just showing you how I swipe that over the skin. So I just apply it directly to the pad and swipe it around the face, and then it just dries naturally by itself. Now I'm going to show you how I perform the aromatic journey. I was actually taught this when I was working with Aveda products, and I still really love it. I think it's a really nice personal touch to add to someone's facial. Before the facial, I chose 3 different essential oils. In this case, I just chose something citrus, something wood-based, and something floral. So I have mandarins, cinnamon, and neroli. I open them all up and I put them on the side of my basin. For the aromatic journey, you can rub through the center of the brows as you are asking the client to smell the essential oil you are offering them. Each time I bring the new essential oil over, I wave it under the client's nose and I ask them to take a deep breath. Once they've smelt it, I then move on to the next, so the second and the third. After offering all 3 essential oils, I ask if there is any that they liked in particular, or whether they would like me to bring back 1, 2 or 3 to smell again. With the preferred essential oil, I add this to the hot towels and the massage oil. The balancing infusion is something that I was taught again while I was at Innovator Spa. The balancing infusion oil that I'm using is for sensitive skin. It's a highly concentrated blend of pure flower and plant essences. I apply 1 drop to the décolleté, the neck, the chin, the face, the forehead. With a fresh basin full of warm water, I dip my fingertips into the warm water to create slip. I then use light feathery strokes until the infusion is evaporated. This helps restore a healthy look and feel. It soothes and calms with lavender, patchouli, geranium, rose oils and other plant-derived ingredients. Before applying a mask, I tuck 2 tissues into the headband.
There's probably heaps. If you're at school, they'd say something like a 50-cent coin.
If you're at school, actually, they'll say a 5-cent coin. Just an inside joke there, my peeps.
You can apply the mask in any order that you want, as long as the mask is applied in nice long brush strokes rather than slapped on as such. I start with the chin and apply right around the border of the face to the center of the forehead. Then I come back down and then I apply to the cheeks, outwards and then inwards up the side of the nose. Then I continue up around the eye socket, over the forehead and down. And I do the same on the other side. Don't forget the upper lip. You could also use your hands when you're applying a clay-based mask. Sometimes a brush doesn't layer on the mask very nice, so using your hands in a nice massage style application can be really good as well. I keep a hand towel usually on the heater, except for summer when it gets a bit hot. But what I do is after applying the mask, I place a warm hand towel over the client's décolleté. Then I get one of the hot towels, which already have the chosen essential oils on it, and I fold it in half and put it inside the warm hand towel. Then I form a V across the décolleté and fold it back across the other side of the client's neck. I give it a little compress, and then I also apply more essential oil that they liked from their choice from the Aromatic Journey, and put that on top of the hot towel as well. Only if I feel like it's not smelling strong enough, because I don't want it to be too overpowering, but we do really want this to feel like it's a customized facial for them. So right throughout it, they're just smelling this beautiful fragrance that they've chosen from the beginning of their facial. Then I place 2 dry pads over the eyes, a tissue, and then an eye pillow. At this point, I turn the lights down and I give them the choice of a scalp massage, a hand massage, or a foot massage. After the massage, I turn the lights back up, but not fully. I remove the eye pillow, the tissue, the pads, then I use a hot towel to compress off the mask. Depending on the type of mask that I use, the hot towel can often be enough to clean the mask off. If not, I'd go back over with some clean sponges. After that, I'll tone and blot and tone and compress again. Then I apply a pea-sized amount of eye cream using my ring fingers. I gently pat it around the orbital bone and then apply it around the eyes. Before the moisturizer, I'll apply an appropriate serum for their skin. So I haven't spoken about oily skin, dry skin, or dehydrated skin. We haven't gone into face mapping or skin analyzation. So in this case, I'm just applying a standard serum to the skin before moisturization. Then I ask my client whether they want moisturizer or tinted moisturizer. Some people will feel like after a facial they don't really want anything on their skin that's remotely makeup or mineral powder or anything. But then there's some people who come to a spa and they're returning to work, or they're catching a bus or a train, or they just wouldn't leave a salon without anything on their skin. So I give them a choice and I apply whichever one they like. I apply the moisturizer, then I ask them, is there anywhere that feels dry or not covered? It's important that I ask this because I don't want the client leaving feeling that their skin is tight in any way. I want them to feel refreshed and moisturized. Finally, I remove the headband. At our salon, we offer a fresh glass of water. So I would leave the room, get a fresh glass of water, bring that back in, put it on the nightstand and say just get up in your own time and come out when you're ready.